Welcome to Coffee and Popcorn, where we bring you the most striking stories from around the world. We have 3 heartbreaking stories from Reddit to share with you today, one of which is truly disturbing and will make your stomach turn. We have a woman who's hooking up with guys she met online, a girl who's keeping a dark secret about her friend's boyfriend, and a young woman who just found out that her husband of 15 years has a thing for her mum. If you want to know how these stories unfold, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
I've been with my girlfriend for about 9 years, and I support her 100% financially because she quit work when we moved in together. She also has a 20-year-old daughter who lives with us. I support her too. This whole thing started when I went to visit my parents for Christmas. My girlfriend didn't want to come with me, so I went alone. She told me she's going to go to a cabin on Boxing Day with her friends and their kids. I thought it was a little suspicious that she'd be leaving her daughter the day after Christmas, but I didn't say anything. When she got to the cabin, I asked her to send me some photos, but she was barely messaging me and wouldn't answer my phone calls. I found out she was lying because there's a guy she plays games with online, and I know where he lives. Since me and my girlfriend knew each other's password for everything, I was able to check her location on my phone. That's when I found out she was in the same town as this guy, not where she said she was. I called her right away and told her that I knew where she was, but I want her to tell me. She kept lying, saying she's at the cabin with her friends. Finally, I said, I know you're with him and I want you to admit it. She did admit it, but said they're just friends. Things were horrible when we got home. I said, if you want us to be together, he has to go. No more gaming or chatting with him. She didn't agree and kept gaming with him. It was awful. There was no sex or affection between us at all. A month and a half later, I had to go out of town for work and would be gone for a few weeks. At this point, she still doesn't know how I found out she wasn't at the cabin. The day after I left, she called and told me that she was at her best friend's house, which is roughly 30 minutes from our home. I was looking at the Find My iPhone app again, and she was at an airport that's pretty close to the guy's town. I called her right away and told her that we're done. She lied and lied before finally telling me that she's with him again, and for the second time, she said they're just friends. I hung up, and she immediately called back. I wouldn't answer, so she kept calling. She even started messaging me. Eventually, I answered the phone and said we'd talk things over when we both got home. I had no intention of talking about anything with her. I was the one who lied this time. When I got home, she was already there. I told her that I was very upset, confused, and needed some time to think. She was trying to hug and kiss me, but I wasn't having it. I packed all my clothes, movies, and video games and went to stay with my brother for a few weeks while I looked for an apartment. As soon as I got my apartment keys, I blocked her, her family, and completely ghosted her. Since then, I've only saw her once at a local grocery store where she cornered me and asked me to unblock her so we could talk. She followed me around and wouldn't leave me alone until I exploded and shouted, "I can't talk to you because you cheated on me." She looked super embarrassed and then walked away.
When OP's partner lied about being at the cabin, he should have ended things then. Judging from her behavior, it's clear that she wasn't happy in the relationship, which makes me wonder, why didn't she leave? Since OP was paying for everything, that may have been a big incentive for her to stay. But if you're that reliant on someone, why would you risk messing it up? Since OP's seen his ex at the local grocery store, it seems like nothing really materialized with the guy she was cheating with. It makes me sick how people can use and abuse the trust of their partner, just so they can get whatever it is they want. If you can't be honest and loyal to the person you're with, do the right thing, and let them go so they can find happiness with someone else. Anyway, let's quickly check out the comments.
Holiday Narwhal says, "You did the right thing, but I wouldn't call it wasted time because when you meet someone new, you'll know what to look for and avoid. Try and remember the good times, and let go of the bad because it'll only haunt you and draw the same situation in another relationship. Be thankful for the experience and grow." I had to go through 20 years of this kind of stuff to learn that. Royalback says, "I've been in the gaming community for a while and met a woman who had 4 to 5 emotional affairs while she was married, and everyone knew she was married. Her being a friend and me wanting to straighten her out, I told her, 'You're cheating. Think of what it'd do to your husband if he found out. Think of how it'd feel for you.' I tried all sorts of approaches until I got tired. She was a stay-at-home mom who basically admitted that her financial situation wouldn't be good if she left her husband, who was her provider. I dumped that friendship in the end when I saw that nothing I said was getting through. You were a meal ticket to this woman. Good on you for getting out and saving yourself.
For OP and anyone else who's ever had to deal with this sort of heartbreak, I can only hope that you're strong enough to move on from it.
An old friend from high school, who we'll call Tom, has a girlfriend, and for this story, we'll call her Anna. They're both 21 and got together at the end of their freshman year at college. They've been together for about 3 years now. We're all seniors. I've known Tom for 8 years, but we were definitely closer in high school. He's done some shady things in the past, and he's got some morals that I don't agree with, which is why he's more of an acquaintance these days. However, I see him all the time because he's my boyfriend's roommate. I love his girlfriend so much, and she's possibly the kindest person I've ever met. She's gone out of her way to help me through some hard times, even when we weren't close. At the beginning of summer, going into sophomore year of college, a friend from home told me that she had sex with Tom in July. She didn't know he had a girlfriend at the time. Since I was a little confused about whether Anna and Tom were officially together, I decided to sit on this information. Since then, I've come to realize that their anniversary date's in June. And lately, this has been weighing on me. What's even worse is that this wasn't the only time. One of Tom's roommates, who we'll call Ron, told me that one night during the summer in which we were going into junior year, they all went out. It was Tom, Ron, Ron's current girlfriend, Amy, and one of her friends, Mel. Apparently, when they got home, Mel went into Tom's bedroom with him. In the morning, Tom told Ron that he had sex with Mel and felt awful for doing so because he didn't want to screw things up with Anna. Ron told me all this when he was super drunk, probably because he was feeling guilty about the whole thing. Ron's girlfriend also confirmed that this was all true. Tom has cheated on Anna multiple times, and I don't know if I can hold on to this information much longer. I feel like I should tell her, but Tom has a nasty side, and it could really affect my life since we run in the same circles. I don't want any bad blood with anyone, but I feel like if I were in Anna's position, I'd want to know this information. What do I do?
At this point, it doesn't seem like OP has much of a friendship with Tom, and that Anna is her true friend, someone who supported OP in the past. In this case, my main concern would be Tom's reaction, since OP mentioned that he has a nasty side. But if his nasty side is really as bad as OP claims, this could be dangerous for Anna if she continues on in a relationship with him. If Tom really didn't want to screw things up with Anna, he should have thought about that before sinking his pole into another hole. Like anyone who's being cheated on, Anna is owed the truth so she can make a fully informed decision about who she wants to be with. Those are just my thoughts, but let's see what they're saying in the comments.
Kurzik says, 2 things. First, you should tell Anna what's going on because she sounds like a better person than Tom, and you'll be saving her from a worse pain in the future. Second, you should talk to your boyfriend before you tell Anna about what's going on so he's not blindsided by the fallout. You should assume that Tom will figure out you told Anna about what's going on, and during this time, you also might learn something about your boyfriend's morals by how he reacts to you telling him that you plan on talking to Anna about the cheating. Toxic friends are a common feature in cheating stories, and having a serial cheater in a friend group isn't healthy for everyone else. Trey Ryan says, here's an idea. Talk to your boyfriend. He's the one who has to live with Tom when this all blows up. Honestly, you're putting way too much concern over how exposing him will affect your life. Be an adult and make an adult decision that represents the person you want to be. If you lose friends in your hometown because Tom gets outed for cheating, do you really care if the people that would stand behind him and support him would be your friend? Turds always float on the surface in these situations. Be an adult. Do what you believe is right and accept the consequences. Your social circle in your hometown and college will be relatively meaningless in a year. You have a boyfriend, and he's either going to support you in doing what you believe is right, or maybe he isn't the man you think he is. If he tells you to stay out of it, he probably knows that Tom's been cheating all along and chose to say nothing. Is that someone you want to be with?
Part of what Trey Ryan said is 100% true. OP's social circle won't matter as much as she thinks it will. Soon enough, they'll all be building their own lives, and their role in her life will lessen. That said, I'm not sure if Tom's roommate is in the wrong for not saying anything, as his loyalties will be to Tom, not Anna. Now, if he knew, he could talk to Tom about it, but I'm not sure if it's his place to talk to OP or Anna about it.
My mother, who's 69 years old, came to me the other day, and she looked like she was going to be sick. She proceeded to tell me that my 42-year-old husband was sending her inappropriate messages. It appeared like her messages had been deleted, but I was able to retrieve them. Sure enough, my husband has been texting with my mom every day. Every night he says goodnight and that he loves her. He even sent her a message about a dream he had of the two of them. In the dream, he said that my mother looked beautiful and that he'll massage her back anytime she needs it. My husband is telling my mom that he feels close to her and that he loves her very much. He's even slept in a spare room we keep for my mom, and he says it's because our 4-year-old son is too loud and he needs to rest for work. My poor mother has been struggling with memory issues and is being tested for dementia. I feel like my husband's taking advantage of that. When I confronted him, he admitted to deleting the messages on his phone because he was embarrassed and didn't want me to see them. He also told my mom that a lot of son-in-laws find their mother-in-laws attractive and that he's got very strong feelings for my mom, which thankfully is one-sided. My husband had a sexual addiction in the past and cheated on me with a fellow coworker when our daughters were just 1 and 2 years of age. After that, he moved out of the house, leaving me with our 2 little girls. Through therapy, we worked through it and stayed together. He's also recovering from a drinking problem and had to move out a few years ago when he fell off the wagon. I don't know how to move forward with our relationship after finding out that he has feelings for my mom. He said that he'll get help, but I've heard this story many times before. The real kicker is we're 3 days away from our 15-year anniversary. He sure has perfect timing. Should I stay or should I go?
As if crushing on your wife's mother isn't bad enough, the fact that she's got dementia makes all this a million times worse. Not only is OP's partner looking to cheat on her again, he was looking to do it with an elderly and vulnerable person. While 15 years is a long time to sink into a relationship, what OP's husband is doing is unforgivable. This man needs to see someone, and fast, before he does something he can't take back. OP must protect her mother, and getting her as far away from this man is the best thing she can do. Let's see what's bubbling in the comments.
Fugly Sack says, should you stay with the person who's targeting your physically and mentally vulnerable mother? He's clearly working towards assaulting her. He's admitted to having inappropriate feelings for your mom. He's been hiding his behavior from you, places himself in a position to be alone with her in the middle of the night. And she came to you for help because she's sickened and scared. Yes, you should leave the person who wants to assault the woman who gave birth to you. If you stay with him, you're absolutely complicit in his inevitable sexual molestation of a senior citizen with dementia. This is your mother, and he's a predator. Not my name says. Absolutely. Run fast. I really wish your mom could get a restraining order, but I doubt she could. At the very least, your mom needs to change the locks and never let him over again because he's going to take advantage of her. His behavior is disgusting, and no, most guys don't find their mother-in-laws attractive. I understand that you stayed in the past, but you've given him more than enough chances. Please leave quickly. Get an attorney and follow the attorney's advice. Seriously, you need to do this ASAP. An attorney can get you moving in the right direction so you can make this happen and in the best way for you.
You never know for sure whether these Reddit stories are true, but if this is legit, I wouldn't recommend OP stay with someone like this. I can't imagine the horrors that could come about in future if this situation isn't dealt with quickly. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.